Welcome in. Hope you've had a good week since I've seen you last, and you are ready to do some mindful movement here today. As always, get yourself in a nice, comfortable position and start with some nice deep breathing going in through the nose, out through the mouth, and continue that there. And over the next couple of breaths, if you haven't already done so, let's start to close down our eyes and just focus on that breathing. Nice deep breath in and out in your own time. No need to rush here. Just nice, slow, deep breathing. As you do that, just feel what's happening to your body as your chest lifts and expands as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, how the shoulders relax down. Notice how it feels as the oxygen rushes around your body, and how the nervous system starts to calm down as you breathe out. Just continue that there. As we do so, we're closing out the background noise around us and we're just focusing in on the breath. And in this moment, let's remind ourselves that the hardest part of the session is already done, turning up. So now we're here. We can make sure we're focused throughout the session, focusing on the breathing, the mobility, the movements, and everything else that we'll be doing today. We don't have to worry about what's come before us or what happens after the session. Just focusing on the here and now and the next hour we have here together. You keep the breathing going, start to sit up straight. You can open up your eyes, and as we come into the breathing in, we're going to squeeze the shoulders up. And as we breathe out, we're going to relax them down. And just repeat through that there. Breathe in, shrug up. Breathe out, relax down. Squeeze as you breathe in. Relax as you breathe out. And instead of going up and down, we're going to go forwards and back now. So as we breathe in, squeeze the shoulder blades back. And as you breathe out, push them forward. So squeeze those shoulder blades together as you breathe in. Bring those shoulders back. And as you breathe out, push it forward. Yeah, let's now go into some shoulder rotations, just nice and gentle around. Doesn't matter which direction because we'll change it in a minute anyway. Just go nice, slow, and fairly large circles on this as well. We don't have to go through a full range of motion, but if we can get close to it. Good. All right, let's change direction, go the opposite way. And keep the breathing going as we're doing this. Nice, slow, deep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth as you're circling around. Good. Good. Let's do the shoulder area now and circling those elbows round. The hands don't have to be locked in place, they can glide around. But what I want you to focus on is trying to get those elbows round the best you can. So you can either go both arms together like I'm doing here, or if you prefer, you can do one arm and you can stick with that one arm if that's all you're able to do, or you can alternate. I would say do a couple on one side, a couple on another, or you can go one then the other. Up to you. Just doing what works best for you there. Or you can mix it up between a couple of different ones there as well. There's no right or wrong way. Let's change direction and go the opposite way now. Good. All right, let's open it up a little bit more by getting the full arm coming around, nice and controlled in a circle. Good. All right, nice big circle, stretching it almost as we come round. Remembering if you can't get that full circle with a slightly bent arm is absolutely fine, whatever you can do there. Or a smaller circle if you can't lift the arm all the way up over your head. Let's change direction. And keep it moving there, nice and gentle and controlled. Yeah, let's change over to the other side and get that one moving around as well. Nice, gentle circles. And again, on this side, doing the best you can with the size of the circles. That's going to look different for everybody. So just do what you can do. But let's change direction, go the opposite way now. Good work. Let's start to use our elbows a little bit. This is an exercise we haven't really done before. We're just going to sort of come around, and although we're not technically rotating our elbows because they can't do that, we're kind of taking them through their full range of motion, and it does create a rotating motion, but we're just extending and flexing at the elbow there. Just coming around like so. That's it. Good work. And again, we can do this both arms or just the single arm if you need to. And let's change direction and go the opposite way. Nice. Well, let's go into our wrists now as well, moving those around in a similar motion. And again, you can do one arm or just both together. Change direction. And let's go back to some shoulder rotations again. And if we're not still doing the breathing, just do some nice deep breathing as we're doing through these couple here. Change direction. Let's give ourselves a little bit of a shake off through there. And we can do a little bit of an extended shake as well. Let's shake it all the way through in the shoulders even. Excellent. Well, we've got some nice blood flowing in those arms, which is good. That's going to help to send all the things it needs to recover. And let's take a little hydration break before we move into the next bit where we're going through our spine. Going to be taking things just a little bit easier than we normally do. I know this is the easier of the two sessions that I do within the week. But we're going to be slowing it down today. Just taking it just one half a notch down. Similar stuff to what we normally do, just a little bit slower and a little bit longer on each exercise as well. So let's go into our neck mobility here. So we're just going to start with the looking up and down, nice and gentle, back and forth between the two. Nice deep breathing. And as we've slowed it down today, we're just, as I say, we're taking it down just one notch. I want you just to be really mindful of the movement. So just feel the movement as you come down and as you look up, and just focus in on it there. Try not to let your mind wander, but if it does, that's okay. Just bring it back in line and just think about going up, going down. Feel all the parts that you're feeling it there. Muscles, the tendons, the ligaments, the joints, every part that's getting involved here. Just pay attention to it, focus in, and be, as the session says, mindful of our movements, not just going through the motions. And the reason we're doing this today is that sometimes when we do similar stuff and we recognize it in the session, sometimes we can get a little bit complacent with it, and we can just sort of just move rather than move mindfully. So we're just, as I say, taking it down, taking a little bit slower today, taking a little bit longer of each exercise, and really focusing on the movement. And next time you find yourself looking down, let's hold it there. And just let the neck stretch out here. Breathe into it and just let it drop down. Maybe even curl over a little bit by bringing the chin into the chest as you're looking down. That may restrict your breathing. If that is the case, just make sure you ease off it every so often. Get your breathing in and then come back into it when you're ready to. And let's ease out of it there. We go back into a couple of looking up and downs. And the next time you find yourself looking up, let's hold it there. If you're fine with holding it there, keep it like so. If you want to take a little bit further with the stretch, first of all, keep the mouth closed as you're looking up. And then if you want to take it a little bit further, you can put the hand on the sternum and gently pull down to stretch out the front of the neck there. Feel free to play around with your hand position, maybe even the neck position as well as you're looking up. Maybe you rotate to one side and the other, see if there's a difference. And breathe into it, which will be a little bit tricky in this position, but just do your best to do some nice deep breathing. Keep that oxygen coming in. And X out of that one there. A couple of looking up and downs just to do so. And let's go into some rotation now. So looking left and right. And again, focusing in on this here. Nice, slow, easy movements. And feel every part of it. Feel how your neck is operating to move this side to side. And have that connection between your mind and this movement here. Next time you find yourself looking to the left, let's hold it there. For some of you, this might be enough to initiate the stretch, but if not, first of all, let's keep the mouth closed again. And then we can place the left hand, as we're looking to the left hand on the right collarbone area and gently pull down towards the right armpit. So looking to the left arm on the right collarbone, gently pulling that right collarbone towards the right armpit area. And you may need to play around with the hand position again. You may prefer it above the collarbone, below the collarbone. Generally above, you'll get a little bit more of a stretch, especially in that neck area. But below can also initiate some there as well. And again, with the mouth, keeping the mouth closed, and we can sort of look to the side and slightly up. That helps to increase the stretch as well. And then ease out of it, doing a couple of lefts and rights. And next time you find yourself looking to the right, let's repeat it on that side. So looking to the right, holding that position, keeping the mouth closed is step number one. Step number two, take the right arm onto the left collarbone, gently pulling towards the left armpit there. So looking to the right, right arm pulling the left collarbone down towards the left armpit, nice and gentle, and feeling that stretch through the neck. And again, if you're not feeling it, feel free to play around with hand positioning. Down to it. Couple of lefts and rights. And then let's go into our lateral flexion now. Let's really bring one ear to one shoulder, to the other shoulder, and back and forth between the two. And again, let's make sure we're focusing on the actual movement itself rather than just doing the movement. Focus on how it feels, focus on the muscles that are working. Feel where it feels tighter, feel where it feels like you're moving easily, and just going back and forth, feeling this movement here. Good work, everybody. Keeping that going there. Nice, gentle, easy movements. Loosening up that neck each time we do so. Yeah, the next time you find your left ear on the left shoulder, let's hold that position. And we can either keep it just like so, or if you want to take that stretch a little bit further, we can drop the right arm down towards the ground. So left ear to left shoulder, right arm comes down, or it can come behind you as well. So there's your three options. Option one is just to rest the hand on the lap as you bring the left ear to the left shoulder, or you can drop the right arm down, pulling it towards the floor, or bring it behind you to feel what works best for you. Breathe into it as well as you're doing so. And then ease out of it. A couple of lefts and rights. And the next time you find your right ear on your right shoulder, let's hold it there. And the same applies to this side. Either hand on the lap, hand pulling that shoulder down, or behind the back, whatever you feel is best for you. Ease ease out of it. Do a couple of lefts and rights. And then next, we're going to go through the rest of our spine. So some flexion extension. With this, then we turn to the side so you can see a little bit easier as well for those who need it. So with this, want to curl over like a shrimp, arch back like a high jumper, and go back and forth between the two. And you might find that the first couple, you get a little bit restricted movement, but you can get a little bit further and a little bit further each time. Remember to keep our breathing going here as well. Nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Good work. Let's go into some rotation now. So rotate from the left to the right. Nice gentle movements again. Keep the breathing going as you're doing this. I find breathing out as you twist around just allows you to get a little bit further. Yeah, and then let's go into some lateral flexion now. Let's really reach down to one side, down to the other. I'll turn around as well to the front so you can see it from there. Let's come down to one side, down to the other. With this as well, try and almost curl over to the side. You kind of do a little bit naturally anyway, rather than just reaching down. Try and be mindful about the movement as we're doing it. Feel the movement through our spine. And then let's come around like we're in a whirlpool. Round in a circle, just loosening off all those extra little bits in between. Let's change direction. Notice how this feels as you're going round. And easing off there. Let's have a nice little hydration break there before we move into the next bit. Good. Good work. So just notice how when we slow things down, really focus on it, we can get a lot more attention. Notice how things are going and just all sorts of things that we may miss otherwise if we just go through the motions. So it's good to do these slower sessions from time to time to help with that. We'll keep that theme going, but now we're going to go to do some more yoga-like movements. And we'll start with the one where we put our palms together and then we reach up, out, around and down. And just nice and slowly with this, but not so slow that it's like robotic movements. Keep it nice and smooth and just slow it down. If you're able to on the way up, try and keep those elbows closer together. And you don't need to go at the speed I'm going at with this. Go with what speed feels right for you. Slower, faster, but just nice and slow overall. But you can go slower or faster than me. Just what feels good for you to move through this motion. But try and get a good full range of motion, or at least the best you can. If that only means a short range of motion, that's also fine. Whatever you can do to mobilize, slow, controlled, focused, and a good range of motion. Let's change direction and go the opposite way now. So bring it out and around, hands together, bringing those elbows together as you come down as well, and then bringing it round again. Mindful of every step of this movement as you go around. Notice how it feels in those shoulders, in those arms, in your chest, and your back. I got a spasm, you carry on. Yeah, then now let's go into our threading the needle. As we bring one forearm onto our lap. The other arm we're going to point towards the sky. And then we're going to bring it down, go through the gap, through our armpit, and then back out again. Remembering this is the harder form of this exercise. If you can't get all the way down and through that gap and back again, then we can just come across the body and then up. So you don't have to bring it all the way down and through. You can just bring it across the body. I'll turn to the side a little bit more, or to the front, so you can just come across the front and then out. Or if you're able to, you can bring that there and go through an extra range of motion. Control that movement. And again, notice how it feels when you bring your arm all the way up. Notice the transition down, through, and pointing all the way to the other side. And back out again, noticing it every step of the way, how it's feeling, where you're stretching, where you're moving. Let's change over to the other side. So just other arm on the lap if you're doing it from there. Bring it around, down and through, up, out, around, and back and forth between the two. Good work, everybody. Yes, shoulder rotations just to bring those back into line. Backwards. Good work. Okay. What's time? Good, plenty of time still. Excellent. Well, good work so far, everybody. We will do a little bit of our Tai Chi work now. And for this, we're just going to, again, we're going to go nice and slow with the movements, not trying to overcomplicate it. Keep it nice and simple and nice and easy today. Good. Hands down by our side to start with. And then we're just going to bring them both up to our eye level and then back down to the side. And just keep repeating through that, up to the front and down. And with this today, I almost want you to get lost in the movement as such. So just go for it, flowing through it. You can close your eyes if that is more comfortable for you for this, or keep them open. There's no right or wrong way of doing this. But just flowing up and down, link the breathing in. And just focus in on the movement as you breathe, as you move, focusing in, flowing through. Good. Now, as we do this, we're going to come up to the front and back down. We come up to the left side and back down. Back up to the front and down. And then up to the right side and down. Back to the front again. Down and then left. So do this in your own time. We go left, center, right, center, left, center, right, and back and forth. Good. Okay, we're just going to bring it so we got one hand lower, one hand higher, almost like we're giving somebody a hug, but out wide. We're just going to come across, switch hand positions, and then drift back again. Just go back and forth between the two. You may feel because the arms are up for a fairly long time, you may need to just rest every so often. When you're doing that, you can either just do the one arm and then just swapping over if that feels more comfortable to do so. Try and do both at the same time if you can. But if not, just doing one arm at a time is just an easier version of this on that shoulder. Yeah, let's bring it in there. Relax those shoulders off. In fact, let's do some shoulder rotations just to help relax off a little bit more. And then we'll have one little final hydration break before we go into our last bit here. Going to go through a couple of, well, one breathing technique and then one meditation technique to help us to fully relax before we head on with the rest of our day. So get yourself nice and comfortable once you've had that drink. And whatever relax looks for you. For me, like I say, like make sure you get a good posture in that. But for me personally, just leaning forwards is really much more relaxing for me than trying to sit upright because I don't have those core muscles. So don't feel like when you're in this position and you have to be perfect posture in that. Just more important to be relaxed and comfortable, as that's going to help you to focus a little bit better on what we're doing. Okay, so let's start to do some nice deep breathing, and then when you're ready to over the next couple of breaths, close down your eyes. And our breathing technique we're going to be doing today is our box breathing. That's where we breathe in for 4 seconds, hold it in for 4 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds, and then hold the breath out for 4 seconds. Then repeating through that for as long as I say we're doing it for. So let's all just breathe out, and then I'll count us into the first one. So breathe out now, and then start breathing in. 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath in. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Hold it out. 2, 3, 4. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4. Hold it in. 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. 2, 3, 4. Hold it out. 2, 3, 4. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4. Hold it in. 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. 2, 3, 4. Hold it out. 2, 3, 4. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4. Hold it in. 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. 2, 3, 4. Hold it out. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold it in. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. And return your breathing back to normal now. Just nice, easy breaths. And during those breathing sessions for that box breathing, what happens is we're so focused on the breathing and the timing that we really do block out everything that's going on around us. And we're solely focused on that breath, which is going to really help us to relax. So you probably feel like your shoulders feel a little bit more relaxed. You're just feeling overall sense of calm. That is what that box breathing can give you. First of all, it gives us a nice supply of oxygen because we're doing some good deep breathing, but also helps us to relax because we're really slowing it down and really focusing on it. So that's good there. Keeping the eyes closed, let's go into our meditation now, and we're going to take ourselves to our beach scene. So if you've not done this before, essentially we're going to start picturing a beach within our mind, and we go through some of the other senses, but first of all we're going to focus on the first sense, which is visual. So start to paint the picture of a beach scene in your mind, whether it's one you've been to before or a complete fancy one or an amalgamation of beaches, whatever it is. Just start to build that image in your mind. What color's the sand? What color's the sea? Is there a footpath? Is there sand dunes? Is there buildings or is there cliffs? Whatever it may be, just start to picture it up in your mind, how it looks, noticing those colors, and in the sky as well, noticing the blue of the sky, or even if it's cloudy or if there's a storm out, whatever it may be, whatever you feel like should be in your scene, just notice it all and bring the color into it, bring the light in. And just let it encapsulate the scene, and also just to make it a fuller, richer image within your mind. Now we're there, let's start to build up some sounds as well. So keep the visual within your mind. Just start to open up the sounds, whether it's the sea lapping up against the shore, whether it's the chirping of birds, whether it's the sound of people in your scene. Whatever it may be, just start to imagine that scene. Build it up. Build the visual and the sound together. Just helping you to feel this scene more and more, visualizing it there. Start to imagine how this would smell as well. whether it's the salty sea air, maybe the smell of ice cream, whatever it may be. Just make it even more rich within your scene here. Just imagining what it is. Now we can bring some touch into it as well. We can put our fingers through the sand and start to imagine what that would feel like. Maybe putting our hand or our toes into the sea as well. I'm just picturing what that would be like here in this moment. But also keeping that sound open, keeping the visual open, keeping the smell open, and just making a full, complete scene within your mind. And just sit here in this moment, in this scene, just picturing it all, encapsulating it all, and just letting it all sink in. Now let's start to close down our scene bit by bit, just bringing it down and bringing your focus inwards into yourself and back into your breathing, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And whilst we're here, just doing our breathing, still with our eyes closed, let's just thank ourselves for being here today. You turned up, which was the hardest part, but then you stayed for this full hour to get the most out of it and the most out of this mindful movement. So give yourself a pat on the back, a round of applause, however you want to congratulate yourself. And then whenever you're ready to, you can start to open up your eyes, come back to the room as we bring today's session to a close. Well done, everybody. That was a good session there today. As I said, we wanted to make it nice, slow, easy session and just really put the focus on everything that we do, which sometimes we need just to bring it in the overall scheme of things that helps us to stay mindful through these sessions and not just get used to the same sort of movements and patterns week in, week out. And it just helps us to break it a little bit and keep our focus as we go through. Because sometimes we do get in those rhythms and we just sort of pace through it and just sort of go through the motions rather than really focusing in. So that's what I wanted to do today. Thank you for joining me with that. I hope you have a good rest of the day.